Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. It is Positively Awesome Wrestling, and it is yours truly, Jimmy Baby, Drip King, and I'm joined as always by Tidey. Tidey, how have you been this last week, good sir?
Well, if anybody pays attention to the news in California, there's been a lot of raining, power going
It's
out.
still raining.
Well, it stopped for now. There's another weather system. Man, there ain't no damn break in this, man. This is October. I don't like rain. I don't like showers. I don't drink water anymore. It's almost that bad.
Is anybody wondering what it is I'm doing? I look crazy right now. I'm looking for my water. That's what I was doing there. I've lost my water. Were you part of the blizzard they had? Like, was it last week? There was like a blizzard.
It's a bit north of us. It's like 12-foot walls of snow, like falling at a time. It's kind of like Tetris. Here comes another giant block of snow just falling on stuff.
Water, I found it. Thank you, babe.
I found it. She handed it to you.
I can't do the show without my water. So she saved the day. Everybody thank Amanda for that one. Let's hit these comments and we'll get into the show. Yeah, we was running a tad late. I was talking about Scream, and yeah, so I had to do that. Just going over the notes. Why Dom is good, neither one can make sense of them. That's all right. That's what I'm here for. Me and Sai are gonna have to come together and join forces to convert Dave into a Dom fan, because it seems like me and Sai are like the number 1 and number 2 fans right now. Babe, looking good. Thank you very much, babe. I don't know. I think he needs to wait a little bit longer for a title. And then good evening. Thank you very much. So, topic number 1. We're just going to jump right into it. Topic number 1. Boom. But you know what? Before we go there, I do have a simple question for you. You watched Raw this week, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, give me a grade on it, a letter grade. Like this is a report card. What would you have graded Raw?
Oh, shit. I went back and I was just watching the Cena part, and man, damn it. Oh, man, you know what? I like Maximum Male models. I don't care what anybody says.
They're fantastic,
hilarious. At the top of my head, because I'm missing a lot of parts in my head, I'm gonna say a 6 out of 10.
Okay, so I would say that's probably like a C+, B- type grade. Would that be fair? Yeah, C+, B-. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's good. I would have gave it a B. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this because I know a few people have already touched in on it and everything, but I had an idea for a graphic. I made the graphic, and we're gonna talk about it because I had a lot of fun doing it. I thought it was really, really funny. So you said you just went and rewatched it. So yeah. I take it you liked what you saw.
Well, yeah, I love what I saw watching live, which is like the benefit of being able to go back and, watch it again. I really like what I saw the second time, but I was trying to analyze what Cena was doing, and why he keeps on doing this shit. Like, why is he so good all the time? I mean, literally burning. It's more of a roast. It's not a promo. If you go on there, John Cena's there to roast you, and you just didn't know it. But I don't think it was too far. I remember things where he seemed way harsher. But
really,
yeah. I mean,
who do you think he was more harsh on? I'm curious about this one for sure.
Roman, like
really?
Yeah, I thought the one he went on Roman. Back then they told him, "I'm still here because you can't do your job." They had to bring me back. I mean, shit like that, man.
Yeah, he told Theory though, like they don't care. Like, I felt bad for the kid, man.
No, it's true. But that's why I watched it twice. To kind of, I'm trying to find some chinks in the armor on Cena at all. I mean, he does play to the crowd very well. It's like, but they don't care, and he's like very good at that because it's kind of an inside thing. We know he's being pushed, shoved down our throats. Austin Theory, but then the ruthless aggression thing happens, and we all start to like him more. But yeah, when he's saying they don't care, or I don't care, or it's nobody wants to see you and all that stuff. The second time watching it, I didn't find it as bad. It's just Theory's reactions on his face is what makes it bad, because he's got like nothing, and then he does that shit where he's like, oh, no, wait a minute. Like, before Theory can even try to say something, he always does that, which is really good. Anyways, I didn't think it was the worst. It was bad for Theory though, but I don't think he's buried. No, he's definitely not buried.
No, definitely not buried. The thing that just got me was just they don't care, and I'm like, man, that's a harsh thing to say, because with Roman it was like, I'm here because you couldn't do your job. Okay. And then he hit him with the suffer and succotash line. It's like, oh, okay. Like he made fun of Roman. I thought that was pretty bad. The Rock, he kind of went a little hard in on as well, but The Rock, he's a big boy. He can take it. Austin Theory, man, I don't know. I don't think he was at a level like Roman was.
You're right.
He took his. In Theory, what I think the funny thing about Theory is, I don't even know if he knew what was about to happen. I think they were just like, you're going to go out there. You're going to have a moment with John. It's going to be off the rip. Just go with the flow. Let's see what you got. Sink or swim. And this is something I preach almost weekly on Raw. Sink or swim. You got to we got to find out if they're worth our time. I don't care if it seems like it's too quick or no, fans don't have patience anymore. So you kind of have to push things a little quicker. And there's no better way of finding out if someone's worth your investment than giving them a situation like this. And it's like, all right, are you going to sink or are you going to swim? Last time we saw this happen, like I said, we'd bring up Roman Reigns. He did with Roman Reigns. What happened? Roman Reigns took that to heart. And now he is involved in like the greatest thing WWE's ever done. So does Austin Theory follow in those steps? Or is he just another one of those guys that falls at the waistline because John Cena just eviscerated? He didn't hurt him. He didn't murk him. He eviscerated Austin Theory. There's nothing left of the kid if he doesn't show up at WrestleMania. That's how bad that was.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't thinking, he's definitely not in the Roman shoes and been there for years. He's definitely not in the Rock's shoes. Because like now it's his time to like start going. He's like, even if you win, you lose. Yeah. If you lose, you know what? You lose.
He's created a scenario for Austin Theory where it's like, it doesn't matter how this goes, you lose. And it's like, okay, that was cold. Like, what do you even do? How do you respond to it? And I got like this much excited because John Cena did his first part. And I was like, okay, that was a little bit rough. But I like it. Because again, I'm of the idea you got to find out. And then Theory, I thought for a second was going to walk out of the ring. I was like, you can't do that, kid. Please don't. Please. I have spent way too much time praising you and uplifting you and talking about how you are the next John. Don't do. I've been on it for a long time. Don't do this to me, kid. And then in true Austin Theory frame, he's like, no, you know what? And he did his little spiel, and I was like, you know what? That wasn't anything special, but it wasn't terrible. I thought he did pretty good if the scenario was, we're just going to put you guys out there and let's see what you got. If that's what it was, and there was no like bullet point scripted, anything of that, they just said, hey, guys, go out there and make magic because John Cena, we know, can. And if he's going against John Cena, the test is, are you this capable? I imagine they would want Theory to kind of improvise and go off this dome against the Cena to see what he's got. And I didn't think it was bad. But then Cena said, I got more. And that's when I started to feel bad for him. He's like, they just don't care. And I'm like, man, I care, John. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Piping in the crowd noise.
Ooh, that was rough. That was rough, man. That was rough.
Yeah.
Let's get a few of these in here real quick. Dave said the bloodline stuff is A. The rest, man, no. It's one out of D-. The roast from Cena was great. It was great television. Like I remember watching it and I was just amazed. Like I was just like, wow, this was really, really, really good. Cena was great. Theory stood there and threw out a ball joke. Theory is going to have a show out at Mania in a bit. I think he's going to show out, and I think he did. I don't remember exactly what he said because I haven't rewatched it since I think Tuesday. I might have rewatched it Wednesday. But I mean, if he was in a situation where he had to come off the top, I don't think he did a bad job. He didn't fumble over his words or anything. He didn't look lost. And that's a big thing because on my Raw recap last year, I remember there was a main event match we had. And it had Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, I think. It was full of main eventers. And then there was Austin Theory. And I remember I was really big on Austin Theory. He had the briefcase at the time. And I was like, this kid is the future. I just kept saying, he's ready now. And then I remember watching that being like, he looks lost. He doesn't look like he belongs in the ring with that crop of talent. And then even in the Elimination Chamber last year, when it came down to him and Brock, as fun as him getting F5'd off the cell was, he didn't seem like he belonged in there with those guys. He just wasn't there. Last night, I think, was the first time I've seen him in there with a superstar of that level. And I said, you know what? He actually looks like he belongs in there with him. That's huge because that shows me that he's built some confidence behind him. Whereas in the other places, I feel like he was a little unsure. Against Cena, he looked like, I'm ready to take whatever he's got. I'm going to give him a little something. And then he got eviscerated. But he looked like he belonged. And I think that's a big, big step forward for Austin Theory that maybe not a lot of people caught. Maybe I'm seeing what I want to see. I don't know. I say it all the time. But
I think after watching it twice, definitely.
He was dumbfounded after that second round for sure. He was definitely dumbfounded. It was. He has all the talent in the ring as far as in-ring goes, but the character and the bookings surrounding it raises questions. They got to book this match right, and that's a great question, and we're gonna touch on that right now. Okay, so now that we've seen their first interaction. And also, John Cena's done filming whatever he was filming, so he's free up until Mania. So he could literally show up at any week now. Like, he could be on every Raw up until Mania, for all we know, which is awesome. That's awesome, because I want more of him and Austin Theory. I want Austin Theory to get the full John Cena rub here.
Yeah.
How do you see this match ending?
Well, shit. Theory's got to win. After that, he's got to win. Right?
Does he?
Unless Cena's sticking around longer. Cena said that because the Raw after, he's like, I ain't gonna be there to hold your hand. This is gonna be all you, and the crowd beat your ass up. It makes me think that Cena's doing a one-time thing right now, and he called out the Bambino, and now he's gonna get the Bambino, and now he's in deep shit.
Hey, just to throw this out there though, real quick though, if Cena won, what do you think he would do Monday night with the U.S. title?
Well, that's right, because
he would do an open challenge because that's John Cena in the United States title. So he could literally do the open challenge. We get one of these returns, debuts, call-ups. They beat John for the title. Then John doesn't have to stick around anymore.
Well, I mean, anyway it goes, it sounds like even if he wins, I mean, he's got to, like, what was John's whole dig at him? You don't believe it yourself. When I did the Ruthless Aggression, it was a great opportunity, but what did you see? I just didn't believe in myself, and it just came across. He's like, and that's what he kept coming at him with. Basically, you're insincere, so no one can get behind you because you don't even believe in you. That was his main dig. So if he comes out winning or losing with Cena, he still has to pass up this character as if he's more sure of himself. He believes in himself. But, that is the freaking problem. If they're going to go out there and say, hey, man, you're going to do a promo, and we're just going to see where it goes. You're going to be there with John Cena. When was the last time anybody really got one up on John Cena? And that was The Miz, because The Miz had ammunition. He made fun of Nikki Bella. His relationship. I don't think
he got one up on. I don't think he got one up. He stood his ground with him. He stood his ground with him for sure. I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
I mean, most people don't have nothing bad to say about John. He ain't dating Nikki again, so you can't just rehash that, right? He ain't doing Total Divas again. I mean, how the hell do you poke holes at John Cena?
I honestly cannot think of one single person that has won up John Cena.
And that's my thing.
Yeah.
The dude, he can't. Like, anything that he, like, what was his thing? He said, "Yo, yeah, that's great. You reverse it." He called him like I ain't going away like your bald spot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, "Oh, proud of the senior circuit." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's great. Positive, right? You have a good way of reversing everything. That's good for you, John." It's the kind of the same thing that Roman said. "Oh, there he goes again, just flipping everything, and he's really good at turning your words around."
And Eminem from 8 Mile.
he really does do that, man. Because, like, even his promo, what he said, it was really flipping things back. It was not if you want to say go out there and not be prepared, shit, that ain't fair, man. How are you gonna get somebody?
I absolutely think, because back in the day, it was off the cuff, man.
But that's John Cena.
Sink or swim, baby. Sink or swim.
Like,
if you can't stand in the ring with John Cena and get roasted like every other person who's ever stepped in the ring with him has before, if you can't go in there and take that, then why should I invest in you? Why should I make you the next company guy if you can't sit there and do what the fuck? We just talked about The Rock. Some people still think The Rock is like the greatest who ever touched a microphone. And it's like, John Cena killed him. So if The Rock can sit in there and take it, you better be able to take it as well, because you haven't earned the stripes that The Rock had. And he's still like, you got to be able to sit there and take it.
That's a good point, because it is supposed to be Theory being the big push. So what better time before WrestleMania? Yeah.
Because I'll just add this in here real quick before I bring up Dave's comment. I feel like Roman is on another level with his mic work now. And I feel like when he gets in there and he kind of starts roasting somebody, he digs deep. So if you can't sit in there with John Cena, you're not going to sit in there with Roman Reigns, I would assume. Yeah. Not that Roman's on John's level. I'm just saying, like, that's your top guy right now, and he's not just as good, but he's very good at like digging deep on you. You better be able to handle it. So we'll see how Austin grows from here or falls off the face of the earth from here. I'm gonna bring up two names. You brought up Miz. When the Miz fought John Cena at WrestleMania and won the title, I can't remember what year it was. 2010 maybe. 2011.
11. Probably 11. Yeah.
I think I got it right here. But the Miz won. What ended up happening to the Miz after that?
See that I don't. He went down.
He took a nosedive. It wasn't until like 2016, 2017 that the Miz kind of started bringing himself back up, and now he's back to doing nothing. And then Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt lost to John. I won't say that Bray Wyatt has been amazing since, but it didn't really take him down a notch. He pretty much stayed level, and he lost. I think a win would have probably catapulted Bray. I think Bray was ready, but the loss didn't hurt Bray as much as the win hurt Miz. And I feel like both of those were tests for those guys, because they were like there, but John Cena was already there. So it's like, show us why you should be on his level. And that's what Austin Theory is kind of at right now, even though John's gone. But I think that's interesting. I think Austin Theory could lose this match, and if it's done right, it wouldn't hurt him. So I'm a Theory fan. I'm rooting for him, and he still ain't Mania event ready yet. But the match at Mania has to show something I haven't seen yet. Show me how good they tell you are. He's good. I can't believe you haven't seen it, man. Because as far as like in ring work, he hasn't had a match where I was like, he's in over his head. It's just the presence, the star power. Like, he's never had it, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. And then he brings this up, and I think this is interesting. They literally just did a template for how they should book this match with Max and Brian. If you don't believe Max in before, you sure do now. Do that with Theory. So the Max thing is interesting, because I would assume John Cena is Austin Theory's like guy growing up. Like, I fucking love John Cena. Much like Max growing up, CM Punk was his guy. So when MJF got the chance to stand in there with CM Punk, it almost felt like he had been writing for this moment his entire life, because he went in on Punk. He stood there and he took it. I was hoping that was the case with Austin Theory, but it doesn't seem like that was the case. Like, no, it definitely wasn't the case, because if he did have stuff and he just forgot it because the moment was too big, that's not good either. But the Max Punk thing was very similar to this, and it just went two different ways for the other side. Because Max was like, yeah, you can talk all the shit you want, but I've been waiting for this moment my entire life. You're in trouble. Part of what I see comes from JOW. They book him. That's a little JOW. I think it was, what was Progress? I think is where I saw Austin Theory at first, and I was like, that dude's fucking awesome. It might not have been Progress. It might have been a different one. I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. So end of the day, you don't think he went too hard on Austin Theory?
Thinking back what you said and thinking about he is not at that caliber. Yeah, it was a bit harsh, man.
Okay, we're on
That
different
was
sides here. I don't think he went too hard on him. I think he didn't make him cry. So
That's why I said it's a bit harsh. It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
too harsh, but it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
bit harsh.
If you would have made him cry, I would have said, yeah, you went too far, John. But he didn't. So
Make a
take it
grown
on the
man
chin,
cry.
learn from it, grow from it, be the next. Do what Roman did. That's what I say to Austin Theory, man. Don't let it kill you, man.
Roman got an advocate though. Roman had a special counsel, and it took Roman a couple of weeks, and he had Jey Uso to mess with. I mean, like
he's had the help.
Circumstances.
He's had help. They've guided him to the situation, but he's been given a moment after moment after moment, and he's knocked them out of the park every single time. So that's fair. Roman grew from that moment against John Cena. That's what I think. Because the next time he got in there with John Cena, what happened? Roman stood toe to toe with him. So learn from it, Austin. Please, I'm begging you, man. Don't make me look like a fool. Next up, we got Jay and Sami. And I want to make this little question a little bit more clear. Was this the peak of the Jay and Sami story? No, you know what? Scratch that. Was this the peak of the entire Bloodline story? This moment right here. I want your opinion on it because I got some shit to say about it.
When I was watching it, when I saw him go and hug him and they both threw up a 1, that just refers back to on SmackDown when he's like, I acknowledge you, planting the seed of what if you're the tribal chief, right? So for me, when he threw up the 1 and then Sami, why is he throwing up a 1 as well? And that was the thing. That's what I thought in my head. That's the peak.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you remember on SmackDown when he cornered Jay in the parking lot and he says, I acknowledge you? They raised the 1 there too. So I think that's what that was.
All right. That makes a bit more sense. Yeah, but like that for me, when I saw that at the time, that was like, okay, that's everything we're supposed to culminate to right now. And then of course, it doesn't go that way. Kicks him. If you want to talk about culminate for Sami, man, there's man, shit, I'm going to get pissed off.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and scratch the thought. He's not joining the title match. It's not happening. It's the tag title thing. We got to get that one in our head now. I know it sucks. I know it. Trust me. If there's anybody in this world that feels the pain you're feeling about this very thing, it's me. So, but we got to be able to enjoy the moment coming up. And I feel like if we're still mad about the moment that we missed, you're not going to be able to appreciate it as much.
All right. So what's your thing about the peak then? Like,
so here's basically the question. I'll answer the question. And then I'll answer what you're saying. The peak, because I almost feel like this moment I felt this moment more than I felt the moment at Royal Rumble when Sami cracked Roman. This felt more to me because, and I know people have been saying the story is Sami and Jay, not Sami and Roman. Whereas I think the storyline has always been Sami and the bloodline, not Sami and one individual, because he's had different interactions with each member of the bloodline. So that's how I always looked at it. But the people who are saying Sami and Jay, I guess I'll give them credit. That was the bigger of the 3, because when things happened with each individual, like when he cracked Roman, I was like, fuck yeah. But it wasn't like I don't know. It was a great moment. And then when Jimmy kicked Sami, I was like, oh shit, Jimmy? It was a great moment. But then when Jay did this and made us, at least me, I'm sure there's a few others, he made me think for a split second, like, damn, he really is choosing Sami.
Yeah.
And then that split second was gone. I saw the look and I'm like, no, it's fucking not. And it happened. And I deflated. I legit went I was watching it and then it happened. I was like, I was just done. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Sami has just lost everything. So I just feel like that's the biggest moment we've had. And I don't think storyline wise from here on out, as far as Sami is concerned, that it's not going to get better. I think that was the peak.
Got it.
Because I know some people might think that the Chamber was the peak, and then some might say the Rumble was. I don't know. Those are three huge moments that have happened within less than 3 month time. So I can't say that none of those were, like, to me, this was the peak. I thought the Chamber might have been the peak, but then they continued on that steady path. And then this just was like, it was so awesome that it made me just crumble.
Okay, so, that's what you mean. I'll pick it up.
Yeah. And then let's do this. They'll keep the Bloodstone Gore in a different iteration because he's not much coming on. It takes place. I mean, why wouldn't you bleed a storyline dry that is fantastic and still making money? Like, if it got shitty, then yeah, be done with it. But I mean, I would bleed it dry too. I cried. I won't say that I cried, but I was pretty fucking close.
Yeah, I was pretty.
This
upset.
Is no joke. How I look. I literally was just.
It's kind of like finally you're giving Sami a chance. Like finally you're pulling for the character that we
all knew where this was heading, and then they swerved. I was like, "That's it." Oh no, they aren't swerving us.
You know, I mean, so is there? So no more like.
Nothing's gonna top what we saw on Monday night to me. I think that's literally the peak of this Bloodline story, and anything that happens after it will be significantly as good.
The only thing I say that's still going is just Jay and Roman. You know,
clearly, this is very true. This is very, very true.
That doesn't exactly involve Sami, but Sami's like at this point almost like KO. Then he'll be on the outside doing whatever. But now that Cody's got involved, motherfucker. Now that Cody's gotten involved and stepped on the Bloodline's feet from SmackDown, that still gets Sami some thing, because when he said like, "You're not family," and then he said to the crowd after, "And neither any of you," you know, like the question is, was he talking to Roman or was he talking to Sami? Most likely, yeah, it's Sami. You know, but Jay is obviously still pissed. He's like, "Hey, where's Roman at?" When he shows up to SmackDown, it's like the first thing he basically asked, and then he looked like he was on a mission. Like when they're like, "Hey, go get him."
From this past SmackDown?
Yeah. Oh,
Roman was on it?
No, Roman was not on it.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say Roman was like, "Where is he?" Because I didn't see this week's SmackDown. I just saw.
But that's what Jay said. First thing he does is like, "Where's Roman?"
Oh, okay. He said, "Where's Roman?" Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And he looked like he was about the business. Like he needs to talk to Roman, because last time he shoved him in his face. I mean, and he said everything, but he didn't exactly acknowledge Roman. He did call him Tribal Chief at one point, I believe. Well, where's Tribal Chief at? You know, he's not. I mean, because all right, so rewind for a second. Jimmy had to execute or get rid of Sami, or he's in trouble. Sami said that on Raw. Hey, he's got to get rid of me. It's about survival. He doesn't get rid of me, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Jay came out and was like, "Who would you think I would pick on SmackDown? Like my blood, or I would pick Sami? I didn't want to kill Sami. I didn't want to hurt Sami. I didn't want to do this, but I didn't have a choice. If it was your family, what would you do?
Yeah.
This is my brother. This is my twin." And when they start beating him down on SmackDown, who comes out as well? Solo. Meaning it's his family, his immediate family, like his brothers are there. But of course, Roman's not there. When he asked the Tribal Chief, "Where's Roman at?" Paul Heyman was like, "Oh," and gave him a hug real quick.
Man, I didn't see this clip. I'm mad now.
So, I mean, there's still story with Jay and the Bloodline. Of course, you know, now Sami and Cody are apparently helping each other, whatever, man.
Which I will say this, I'm ecstatic about that, because I absolutely feel I called for this moment, I think 2 weeks ago. It was the when they had the Monday after Elimination Chamber. I concocted we need to see Sami, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes come together in that ring and form that Trinity bond that says, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to take down the Bloodline. That's a huge moment to me. That's something that I could look at and be like, okay, it wouldn't never mind. Scratch it. It wouldn't challenge the Jay, not at all. But it would be another big moment in this, because it's like, okay, we're witnessing the beginning of the Bloodline's downfall right in this moment. That's huge.
Yeah.
And so I'm not mad at the Sami Cody thing. I will be mad though if Cody is the one that I guess makes it happen.
It's looking like it, man.
If he's playing like a moderator, if he's the person who brings them together and says, hash this out, okay, that's fine. I'll accept that. But to be the moderator and make it happen, now I feel like you're shoving Cody Rhodes too far down my throat, and I'm going to be mad about it.
Well, I mean, what did KO told him, hey, man,
go ask your buddy Jay.
Why don't you get your brother Jay?
Yeah.
Well, Jay just said, no, screw that. I'm out. So then Cody comes to his rescue on Friday Night SmackDown. And the second time he's holding, Sammy's hands up, pointing at Sami like, hey, well, I'm really pointing at me. It's like, I'm a good guy. I acknowledge the real face or something. I don't know.
So I think it could be played out in two scenarios here. Cody pep talks him earlier in the night, and then KO's like, no. And then at the end of Raw or SmackDown, whenever it happens, Cody and Sami are getting beat down. KO's music hits. He comes to make the save. He makes the save. Cody shakes his hand. Sami goes, looks at him, and KO still says no and leaves. And then you run something where Sami really just gets the sympathy. And then you run the same thing. Cody and Sami are getting beat down again because it's 4-on-2. Like it's logical. It's not like it's crazy. And then KO's music hits and he makes the save again. And he handshakes Cody. And then he looks at Sami. He hesitates, but then they go in, embrace with the hug. That's another huge moment for this storyline. Not as big as Jay and Sami. I feel like that's how you get. I feel like that's an effective way of getting Jay or KO and Sami together. I don't think you can use Jay as the thing because then it just makes it look like KO's still the backup. Yeah. Like you're my option too. You can't have that. You got to have it to be like a really special bond thing. Real quick, I want to get these comments in. They're piling up on me. Because this is a great idea, and I'm this is kind of what I meant with like bleed it dry. Like, oh no, that's not it. The comments down here, my bad. They could do a Bullet Club type thing where it's just different members of the bloodline because this family bloodline goes back a long time, and there's a lot more coming up. I see a new one they're started training all the time. You could literally just keep the NOI bloodline. Keep it going until they just stop wrestling. Would it get old? Yeah, Bullet Club's gotten old at times, but then they just rehash it and it makes it fresh for a little. So you could do it. I think that's a great idea. And he says, I never for a split second thought that he was going to pick Sami. It was well done though. And to this, I will say if I was thinking with my brain while watching the bloodline stuff, I would be like, he's going to turn on Sami. Like I 100% up here knew it was going to happen. But right here, because this is where this story has been touching me, my heart was saying he's going to pick Sami. So I get what you're saying. It was logically thinking, no, it was never going to happen. But man, we fucking wanted it to. We wanted it to happen so bad. It was amazing to see. I only fucking imagine. Like the Roman Sami thing when he cracked, that was amazing. So I can't imagine. I would have cried right there in the arena.
So, I mean, to say that it's not a Sami Jay story in a way, I mean, it's got some validity when you think about it. It started with Jay. The biggest moments in the bloodline is when Sami comes in, and who's the main person that's making it interesting? Jay denying Sami.
Just for that though, I think the idea with that, if they were the whole time they were thinking this is how it was going to culminate from like the day one, major fucking props. But I don't think that was what it was. I think further into it, I think they had Roman give Sami one reaction to him, Jimmy give one to him, and Jay gave one to him. And when they found out which one was most effective, they were like, let's run with this one. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like, who is Sami going to mesh with the best if we're going to tell a long-term story going with this? And I think that makes sense. Because I really have a hard time believing they were like, okay, Sami's going to do the bloodline, and then he's going to have this crazy, awesome, long-time feud with Jay. And it's like, what? That wouldn't make sense if you pitched it to me. It just wouldn't. Sorry. Yeah, and it's gonna. I know. I'll accept it. And I'll fucking love every moment of it while I'm there. I've embraced the vision. I'm not happy about it, but I embraced it. And then Jacob Fatu, he's another one that's part of that bloodline, and he is fantastic. Solo's young as shit. He's gonna be there a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started with the Bullet Club. Started with Finn, with the AJ, Omega, Jay, and now it's another guy. So just every time a new one comes in, they're the ones that's gonna eventually take over. It's do it. Just keep it as interesting as it's been.
So there's no possibility that Sami.
Oh, my bad. that what, Sami?
That they'll be like, Sami will get not at WrestleMania, but later on, that Sami will get a way to at least go one-on-one with Roman.
Yeah, it's still a thing that could happen. But oh man, this came into my head and I don't want to lose it. You brought it up when you were talking about the Jay and Roman stuff. So I think I said, Jay and Sami was the peak. But if you do a round circle thing, and Dave's crazy theory here that, well, not just Dave's, but he's the one that's here, so I'm going to pick on him about it, that Roman wins at WrestleMania. Okay, so then we're like, so who can take him down then? Who takes him down? Like, if it's not Cody, who? And then Jay eventually splits because Roman's not scheduled to be around. I don't know how true it is, but he'd have to stay around for this. Jay kind of gets tired of shit, and then he steps up to Roman and he challenges him. And then you have a story that leads to SummerSlam where Jey Uso dethrones Roman Reigns. That's a crazy thought. But if I'm thinking with my heart in this story and I'm thinking of another way to give us a fantastic finale to this whole thing, that one makes some sense to me. Because you can't do it at Backlash. It's got to be a big pay-per-view. It's got to be a big event when Roman loses.
So
and that also gives them the 1,000-day reign. He would get his 1,000 days, and then he would lose to a logical opponent that we all embrace. Be like, yes, fuck, yes, this is amazing. That has the potential to go above the Jay Sami moment from Monday to me, because that would be just more awesome storytelling. Because Jay has been the MVP. Jay and Sami are like co-MVPs in this thing. They were both wonderful.
Yeah, they are. Man, SmackDown, you got to. I wish you watched the SmackDown, man. Jay was on it.
I watched clips.
So
I did watch clips. I watched his promo that he cut. I watched because that's when the attack happened as well. I watched the 5-way for the winner, and then I watched the Dominik Mysterio stuff because I'm gonna watch anything Dominik Mysterio at this point.
Damn it.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Like, I'm not gonna do all the ins and outs of how it happens, but if there's a story that can be told to get us to SummerSlam and make that huge moment, that I would appreciate that one more than Cody. Sorry, Cody. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. Not for the titles. I just can't see Jay winning the titles. The moment would be awesome that he dethroned him, but then it's like, oh, but Jey Uso is now the champ, and we see this dude lose to everybody. So, he said he was talking about Ace and Chris Bay. So I guess that's on Impact right now, or something. I don't know. I don't know what's on tonight. But yeah. So yeah, as far as right now is concerned, I think that's the peak of the Bloodline story. Final answer?
I really hope not. I really hope there's,
I absolutely am with
something close to this at least, because Jay kicking Sami, is Sami getting denied. At least the character that he's playing of I want to take down the bloodline. Jay's like, oh, I'm with you. He's not with him now. All right, well, I don't get that. What else is Sami gonna do? Okay, team up with Cody, possibly KO. But Jay is going after Roman. Do you think? Because he's like, what do you say? All right, I got it written down. Where's Tribal Chief? You find him. You find out where he's at. Tell him I'm here. And he stares him down as he walks off. Paul Heyman, like, Jay's about the business when he first showed up. So, do you think that Jay? You think the bloodline is going to disseminate before WrestleMania or after WrestleMania?
At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania. I think it's something along the lines of the Usos lose. And Roman scolds him or something, berates him, and gives kind of like, because again, Jay was berated into joining the bloodline. Like he didn't want to, and he was forced into it because Roman bullied his ass into it. Then he watched his best friend Sami Zayn get bullied, and Sami Zayn stood up to him, and he admired him for it. So much so that he thought about leaving. Okay. And now he's going to get berated. Like Roman is going to just rip him a new one for losing the titles. He's going to get bullied. And Jay learned his lesson. He watched his best friend do this, and he's going to stand up for himself too. So in that main event, when they come down to help, Jay and Jimmy, they walk, they say, you know what? No. And they turn around and they leave, leaving Roman to himself.
Okay. That
and then the bloodline's done.
So Sammy's saying on Raw that if Jimmy doesn't end me, he's going to be in trouble with Roman. That was his mission to go do that.
Yep.
Other mission was bring Jay back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Jimmy really did anything. Jay came back on his own volition. 1, 2, he lost to Sami. 3, now Sami and Cody are kind of running wild on them. I don't think Roman's going to be happy with Jimmy in general when he talks to Jimmy, and Jay's already wanted to start some shit. What's going to be Jay's first words at Roman?
Okay, here's a question for you. Roman was scheduled to be on SmackDown. So I was shocked. I was shocked when he said he wasn't. What if that was the belief so that Jay coming back, and then the first time they're supposed to have an interaction together, Roman decides, no, I don't want to come. Do you think that's something they designed?
Yeah, because that's his words. If you find out where he's at, you tell him I'm here. Because Jay thought he was there.
I hate it for the live crowd. I would hope Roman came out afterwards or something like that because they paid
right?
tickets to see him. I would really hope that happened. But I love the idea of them doing that because it really sells the fact that, Roman says, you know what, Jay may be back, but I don't want him back. That's kind of what that's the message that sends to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. That's also good. So, yeah, man. Oh my God, we just talked about this, and there's so many just awesome moments that could. Whoo, man. This is the gift that just keeps on giving, baby. I love it so damn much.
Yeah, there's more.
In case y'all didn't know, in case y'all had no clue how much we enjoy this bloodline shit. Oh my God, that's amazing. Jimmy, Jay, and Solo end up ousting Roman. Roman goes away for a bit, comes back. Yeah. That's the idea. That's the logical idea that I have. But my heart has so many ways this stuff could go, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much do I love it? I mean, you saw me. I threw this damn notebook across the room.
I synced it. Baby. Half of our chat together is bloodline related.
Or Sami.
Yeah.
Sammy,
yeah. So yeah, we love it. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm not even ashamed to say it. I love it so much. But on to the third topic. Where'd it go? There we go. Dom, Prison Don, Con Dom. He can't miss TV to me at this point. I'm not ashamed to admit that. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's why I love this so much. It's awesome. I don't think it has that much life to it. Every week I'm like, okay, it's about, and then he does something. I'm like, nope, it still works. It still works. I don't think it has too many legs, left in it, but I'm curious. Now that we've seen kind of his potential character-wise, what do you think his ceiling is? Like, do you see him as a guy that can main event WrestleMania? Do you see him as a guy who gets like one championship run, or is like mid-card his just, that's it?
I can see him getting a championship run or two, but not a main event, no, and not main event WrestleMania, and not the title right now. I can't. That's too much to think of. That's like, no, that's wait. I'm not gonna say that. Anyways, but in maybe a year, if I can see his in-ring go up. I mean, he did do that Spanish fly really quick, like in-ring. I thought that was really good. Like, what's his name? Oh, you didn't see SmackDown.
I didn't, Shit. But I'll say this. I watched the Dom stuff. He's can't miss. I went to YouTube and I watched that next morning. So, but my thing with Dom is watch a match from a year ago and watch a match now.
Yeah.
There's improvement. There is improvement. You can't, there's no denying it. He has to improve a lot more though.
So here's where my hope is when he told him in the ring, when he threw him out of the ring after he had the one-on-one talk with his dad, he looked very fucking determined, his face.
Yeah.
And very confident in who he was and what he wanted. And that was to make his father snap or honestly break his father's face. He was determined to do that. He looked very determined. Before, when he got in, not as much. When he said, hey, y'all get out the ring, let me talk to him, I was very convinced. And when he got outside and he said, and Ray yells at him, I'm not going to fight you. He's like, you will. He's like, I'm not going to fight you. Oh, but you will. That gave me hope for one reason, because I wasn't involved into this match. Like, I don't want to see it. Y'all been talking about this for a while. But when he said that, it made me think, oh, shit, Dastardly Dom is going to have to do something very dastardly, because no matter what he's done, he can't get ready to fight him. I mean, there's got to be something. And I think that's when he pulls in the rest of the family. I don't know, hurts his sister, does something.
I think it's going to have to do with his sister or his mama for sure. Like, Rhea's probably going to put her hands. Yeah, Rhea's going to put her hands on him or something. Ray's going to do. Dom's going to block him, and then he's going to deck Dom. And then Rhea's just going to be like, what?
Because you think something like that. Logically, like pure mind here, like, Ray will never fight his son. He'll never do that. And that's what he's saying. That's his mentality. He's never going to cross that moral. It's a line he won't cross. But he's a family man then. So then what will he do? What will make him? You got to hurt another member of his family. Yeah. And that's when he says, this guy's out of control. I have to do something as a father now. They now hurt my wife or my daughter.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go that far. And that makes me excited. That gets me more involved in WrestleMania.
This was such a great line, and we've been all waiting for it. We've been like, when is he going to do it? When is he going to do it? I'm so glad they held off on this, because it's almost like we forgot, like we wanted it so bad, and then they gave it to us, and it was like, oh, that was so cold, man. You did it to him. I liked it. I liked the timing of it.
Ray said, take it back. He said, take that back. That was good.
I want to believe that Dom, this isn't just all he's got.
Oh, I definitely.
I want to think that. I think it was a brilliant move to do what they did. Get him away from his dad, because it was not working. It was stunting his growth 100%. Because he's just trying to impress dad, so he's going to just kind of do the things that he's very comfortable with, and he's not going to push the limits a little bit. Getting away from his dad and having other people kind of be like, hey, get into his head a little bit. You could just tell the confidence is night and day difference. And then the first character that he kind of gets to bring up on his own is this fucking good. I hope that isn't a one-trick pony. Because for where he's at on the card right now, this is a perfect gimmick. He's not even mid-card right now. So he's just there to entertain and do some stuff while he learns on the fly. It's perfect. And I just want to know if he can doing it. Yeah. I want to know if he can just take it to the next level. Not with this character, but just in character in general. Like, how can he evolve from here and impress me?
You know what? You know what makes it so good? If you've seen the movie Malibu's Most Wanted,
I love that shit.
So that's the point. They were like, man, this dude really believes this. It's like, no, that's just him. Dom's acting like he really believes he's been to prison and that he's being hard. It's freaking brilliant. I mean, he's playing to it so well. Like, that's a really hard thing to do, to play a character like he's tougher than nails or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing.
But it's a complete joke. And that's what's
it's a joke.
Fucking good.
It's serious, but it's also a joke. Like, how do you do that? I wouldn't want to try to do that. Like, that's not easy to do, you know? So anyways, that's kudos right there, because he's become like main event for me. Like, if he's on, I want to watch.
Yeah.
Because I've been showing my roommate, like, here's little clips of Dom. Like, this shit's hilarious. And she's like, what is he doing? Why does he have a Thanksgiving? What do you mean he's been to prison? He did hard time. I was like, it's a joke, but he's serious. It's so hard to explain. I love that shit.
Because if he was to try and play this role seriously,
oh no,
it would be horrible. So if you got a role, you got to lean into what's going to make it work. And it's so good, man. I'm trying to get something up real quick. But me personally, I would love to say he's WrestleMania main event future guy. I would love to say it.
What do you mean in your heart, but not in your head right now?
In my heart, I would love to. Because I want to see everybody succeed. And when you get me this early on with, like, again, his first real chance past his papa, and he hits a home run like this, I'm like, I want to root for that guy, because I know he can do more.
I'm with you for one reason, because, like, he was the underdog. He was the person that said, man, I'll give him 6 months. That's what I said a couple months ago. I'll give him 6 months, see what he can do, man. All right, whatever.
And got
now that he's went from underdog to, like, he's knocking like an interesting as hell character, is getting TV time every week. Yeah, in my heart, I want to see him soar. Definitely. You know, mentally, I'm still thinking, man, you just got to work on some stuff in the ring, and then he'll be gold. And what happens after Malibu's Most Wanted? But if he can pull this off, I think he can pull off a lot of things if he can do this.
I'll say this: Dom's wrestling career will start and end in WWE. I firmly believe it will. I think if he can carry on this momentum throughout his career like his dad did, then he will finish his career in WWE for the Mysterio name in itself. And he would get cooked anywhere else. Right now, yes, Dom will get cooked anywhere else he went. For 100%, not even going to disagree with you. Where is he at in 5 years from now, though? I mean, he's still young. Like, he's learning on the fly. He's not learning the same way other people do. He's learning the WWE system, but he kind of is learning on the fly. His first match was against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That he's learning from that moment. So I'm not saying like he's gonna be the world's greatest wrestler. I think he'll be a lot better. I'm seeing improvement, because I literally watch all of his stuff. There's improvement there. I think he'll be all right. I don't think he'll do WrestleMania main event. I want it to happen. I don't think it'll happen. I think he might get one world championship run in his career, though. But here you go. Throw him in the ring with Ishii for half an hour. Yeah, this is what it would look like right here. The boy has paid his licks. There's nothing they have put him out there to do that he hasn't done. So,
have you seen the shit where he's like in the gym and he's like lifting like little 10-pound weights, and he's
then
like
Sheamus and Drew walk up behind him,
and they walk up? That shit cracks me up. And he's like trying hard, like he's doing something big, you know?
It's
hilarious.
World wrestling entertainment. Like, it's top notch stuff. It's so good. So yeah. So you were on the agree. We agree there. At least one world title run.
I don't know about, world championship. I wouldn't mind with the U.S. title or something.
Okay, so you see
mentally now.
Yeah,
but if I can see him just like, imagine in 9 months, like, dude, this dude's wrestling has increased dramatically. 2 years from now, like, dude, this guy's badass. I would love to see that, because everybody will look back like, man, remember 3 years ago when everybody's like, this dude can't wrestle for shit. He just got his father's name. Yeah, he got a good character all of a sudden. We're just waiting for him to break ground. That would just be something cool as shit to see and hear about, man, because I feel like I can't think of any other time that's ever happened. And, you know, give the kid a break, man. He grew up in wrestling.
Here you go. The name I'm about to say was, I don't even want to say significantly better at this stage in their career. I'm talking about from the moment they walked into WWE to the moment of like this time frame, for Dom's time frame, their time frame here. The Rock. He showed up. He was kind of shoved down our throats, and they did not want him. And he was
booed his
clean
ass.
cut baby face, and they're like, third generation superstar. Booed him. Like, they were like, die, Rocky, die. They hated him, so they turned him heel. The Rock then went on to win an Intercontinental Championship, and then a bunch of other ones as well. Dom, shoving him down our throat, babyface. He's a second, third generation superstar. Turn him heel. We all love him. He's on that trajectory. So do I think he does what Rocky does? Absolutely not. But it's not crazy to think that that we're not watching the same kind of trajectory happen. He'll peak a lot sooner than The Rock did. But the similarities are clear as day right there.
I'll give that credit. That makes sense. Yeah, I wanted to see it happen. I think it'd be cool as shit.
He's got to keep
money on it. Would I bet money on it within like 2 years? I don't know how much money I would bet on it, but I would want it so bad, but I ain't breaking my wallet out for it.
It all depends on how he evolves this character. What does he go to from this? Is it something they got to take him off TV and re-debut him as? That would suck. If it came back with something good, I wouldn't be that mad at it, though. But if he can transition this character, like we watch Seth Rollins do it all the time. Like, he just transitions, and it's just like he's not, but it's different, but it's still kind of in the same ballpark of the character you got to the dance with. So where does he go to with this? I don't see a clear picture. So that's going to be the problem in this whole scenario.
Yeah, all I know is, like, when does Judgment Day cut the strings with them?
Yes.
Because they can easily be like, hey, we're done with your punk ass.
Yes.
You're a poser. They can easily do that at some time, but I don't think Hunter would want to be like, hey, man, that's really holding this kid up right now. Why do that anytime soon? That's what I don't know when that happens.
Yeah. It's the most pivotal moment in his career, in my opinion, is where he goes to from this. Because it could be so colossally bad that we never accept him ever again, because fans are a lot less patient than they used to be.
Telling me.
So you're telling me.
Yeah. How did I feel after? Oh shit! After what happened to Sami, how did I feel? You know what? And I've been so patient with WWE. Now, let me ask you this about the road to WrestleMania. And like, I swear in the past years, I was never like upset about it or something, because nothing big has ever happened to where I notice my WrestleMania moment is now gone. Yeah. I don't get Sami, killing Roman, or he didn't win Elimination Chamber. So that was my WrestleMania. I'm practically Canadian in my heart because of that. So that's never happened to me before, to where now I'm looking at everything in a different tint. And then I feel like everything's taking so slow to get going. Not too many things I'm too impressed with. I know there'll be good matches, like Asuka, Bianca.
Yeah.
But it's not like, man, that's a great story build. Becky's with one of their best storytellers. I mean, just setting up a match is promoting Trish for the feel-good moment and all them. And that's cool and all. But I just feel like I don't remember a time going into WrestleMania to where everything had a different shade. And right now I'm having to be so patient just to see where things go. I'm happy for the John Cena moments. I'm like, holy shit, that just happened. Yeah. I'm happy for Jay saying, I'm coming after the tribal chief. There's certain things that keep me going. But have you ever remembered a time where it was like, this is taking forever to build, and I feel like everything else is on stop until they build their card for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
I'm
is it
sure
because Sammy screwed me over then? That's what happened, probably.
You kind of fell off a cliff, man. I was able to recover a little bit more. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure that happened when I was younger, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I like, you know what I mean? I got my Bobby Lashley. I got Seth Rollins, and I know I just
you got a lot to look forward to.
There's a lot to look forward to. I think the Sammy thing just hurt me more.
But you're just kind of like in free fall still. You're like,
somebody took the damn gravity off.
Yeah.
Can we stop? Can we put the gravity back?
You're gonna have a crash landing night one WrestleMania, man. But real quick, I gotta paint a more crystal clear picture here. The Dwayne and Sub Mysterio connection has about the same distances from here to Pluto, traveling at the same speed as the Flair Shotzi match from Friday. Now, let me make this a more crystal clear picture. Rocky Maivia showed up as that third generation superstar, and it was rah, rah, ree. Yeah, I'm here to prove my family that I'm the next guy that's gonna go to the top. And it was cheesy as fuck. And we're like, boo this man. We want him out of here. He had go away heat as a babyface. So what did they do? They turned him heel by putting him in a stable of people, of a group that people hated. And is that not exactly what has happened here with Dominik Mysterio?
Yeah.
Like step for step, that is what's happened here with Dominik Mysterio. Now, I'm going to make this crystal clear as well. I in no way think that Dominik Mysterio is on The Rock's stratosphere. Rock is a superstar that is, some can argue that is one of the WWE greats of all time. I don't think Dom is going to get to that level. But to tell me that there's no similarities to how this trajectory is going, no, it's very crystal clear.
Or the launching pad is the same.
Yeah, you know. Yes, the launching pad is identical.
There you go, launching pad. Yes, definitely.
In the ring, no. I'm not saying that he is. But the Rock was not that great when he debuted. Yeah, he was good for a first-timer. He wasn't great. I feel like Dom is now at the level where he doesn't look like it's his first time, because it isn't. The Rock had prior on the job training elsewhere, so he's gonna be a little bit better at Dom early on. But Dom is significantly better now than he was when he first started.
I think it's like I have hope because of, I just really like the dude, man. Yeah. And this is the dude that I did not like, and I was like, but I'm a human being. I realized he's a human being. I wanted him to get better at a character to make me care, because you're a babyface forever, and I didn't care. Thank you, John Cena, for making that very clear about Theory. Damn you. But yeah, so now I have a reason to care. Why would I not want to see him get better?
Yeah,
I want to. Now again, I'm not gonna bet on it, Dave. I'm not gonna bet that he's gonna do all these things. But man, what a hell of a fucking ride if he does, man. That'd be cool as shit.
We would appreciate it so much more because we didn't think it was possible.
Yeah,
that's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking. I think the best way to explain, because I think me and David think a lot alike, but I verbalize with my heart and he verbalizes with his brain. Because I logically think a lot of what he's like, logically the things he says when it's not just pooping all over the WWE, I agree with most of them. It's just my heart is like, nah, son, you wrong as fuck.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the stuff you said.
So again,
I cannot deny most of it.
I'll reiterate, Dom ain't Dwayne. He ain't. But if Dom can ride that momentum like he did, then I think Dom gets a little bit further than we all think he will. Yeah. A Money in the Bank cash-in winner. That's a very real possibility in my eyes right now. Yeah, but you know what? Since he's been with Judgment Day, I don't know if you guys have noticed it. He's trimmed up a bit.
Yeah, he is.
That pudge is gone. He gained all the confidence in the world and is now toning himself up. He's working. I don't know how you can't root for that. He's working at it.
I think it's called a standing Spanish fly, whatever it is. I think it was a Cruz went off, hit the rope. It did he did that shit, and that shit looked great because it came out of nowhere and it was very quick. I was like, oh fuck, Dom did that.
Was it with Santos?
No, it was. I think it was Cruz. Or,
okay.
It was Raul Martinez.
He had a good bit of help on it, but still, it's a cool move.
But yeah, he did it.
When other people do it, people pop. They're like, oh, so that's cool. I gotta go watch that whole match now. I want to see Dom do the Spanish fly. No joke. I want to see.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was cool, man.
All right. That's it. That's exactly it. And that's why I love this shit.
Want to believe versus you show me.
Yeah,
that's exactly a good way of putting it.
Because I said that when I was talking about booking one time, I was like, I think I'm a fantastic booker, and then show me I'm wrong. So yeah, that's him. Like I get that because logically thinking, yeah, absolutely. But I'm like, no, bro. Hit me here. This is why I'm watching it. Hit me with my heart. That's why I'm watching this stuff. But I want you to look at this graph real quick, and I want you to give me your honest opinion of what you think it is, because I highly doubt you've seen it. All right, you ready? It's a graph about the Shawn Michaels and Undertaker match at WrestleMania 26, I believe.
Total offense per hour. Tide changes. What the all right. So match flow. What the fuck?
You done, son. What are your thoughts on seeing something like that?
Like what does it mean to me?
Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about that kind of stuff being logged? Does that make you more invested in something if you were to like keep up with stuff like that?
No, hell no, I wouldn't be invested if I kept up with something like that.
That's kind of my point. That's like one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking seen.
Like if you can't make me care in the ring when you're in there and on your promos, that's what I care about. If you can't make me care when I'm thinking you're doing a match, that's okay. That's what I want.
To be fair here, I'll try to be fair here. We watch for story. I because that's what I believe professional wrestling is based on is story. Other people think it's a more like sport like thing. I don't even know how to verbalize that. Like
it's Cesaro.
It's a sport.
You think it's more Cesaro?
You think of it as just like a real sport where stats like that, like you watch the NFL and they come up with all these crazy ass stats, and it's kind of what pushed me away from football. And it's like, why do these even matter? Like, I don't get it. And now I'm seeing stuff like this, and I'm like, why does that matter? But if you're looking at it from a sports fan, I guess I can see why that's kind of cool. But man, that's fucking insane to be doing stuff like that to me. I don't know how you enjoy watching what you're watching if that's the kind of intuitive detail that you're going into.
There was these Marvel cards when I was a kid. My brother would collect them, like Marvel trading cards, and he had like a binder full of that shit. So
they were the shit.
I had a set and I lost them, and I'm so pissed. But anyways, I had like all of them. So open it up. I'll look Incredible Hulk, strength 10. Look at Spider-Man, strength 9. Like, how the fuck does he almost have the strength of Hulk? My brother would explain it to me, etc. It was more of how my brother explained why that I gave a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did catch my attention. Like, how is this close? Like, it's the Hulk. What the fuck do you mean Spider-Man almost has the same strength as the Hulk?
To be given a story as to why that made sense.
Yeah, and then that made more sense to me. But yeah, I appreciated looking at the stat in a sense. But looking back, or if I was to look at it now, I'll be like, man, this art looks cool as shit. Can you believe I got a Spider-Man? You know, like, that's all that really matters for me.
Because just to bring it up, this one spot. There's that spot right there in the middle where it's flatlined.
Yeah.
Now, from a sports point of view, that's not the case with this match. But from a sports point of view, you'd look at two guys who kind of get to a point where they stand there, and The Rock and Hogan at the WrestleMania match is the perfect example. There was such a long moment where they just sat there face to face and looked from side to side, and it was forever. But man, was it fucking awesome. From a sports point of view, you're like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how I look at these things. I'm like, how can you grade this? How? It doesn't make sense to me. Dave, even he says it too far. Good. That was crazy to me. You need to excel. Context a story that's on the ring. Yeah, it's real to me. Yeah, like I know it's not real, but man, when it hits me here, it's real, and that's what the bloodline stuff does. So like, a match can hit me here, even though it's like not 100 miles an hour, 15 minutes long of just bing, bam, boom, bam, bam. Wow. No, I want story. Like,
yeah. And the next thing I'm looking forward to is the Brady makes sense of this shit with Bobby. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing it unravel. I want to see it make sense with Bobby. And I love Bobby. That's awesome. If you're going to tell me the time that it took to Bray to get to set this up and the promos that he didn't get in the ring with would just make this a failure, I don't want to see that. I just want to see it happen as it happens. I don't know.
Yeah, that
I give Bray that kind of credit. I don't give a lot of people that kind of credit because I think it's going to be interesting as shit.
The Ospreay Omega, Max Danielson, Briscoes, FTR, Hangman, Mox, all great matches, all different with different stories. These graphs, 100%, and then these graphs. I'm glad everybody here is in agreement so far. Because the fact that like these were even made, and I was like, oh my god, my brain hurts right now. It literally, this might sound crazy, but it set the tone for the rest of my day. Any other little topic I saw that was just kind of I didn't agree with, I was like, nah, fuck that person, man. I was just like bitter about it. I'm for real, man.
Oh wow.
I was not happy about it.
That's a big thing right now that people are actually looking at these graphs. And
those are the first two that I've seen because they were comparing the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match from the retirement first streak match. Again, match. They were comparing it to MJF and Bryan Danielson. Both great matches for two complete universal, as David pointed out, from here to Pluto, riding at the speed of Shotzi versus Charlotte. That's how far away those matches are when you're viewing them. It's crazy to do these. Now that I think about it, no, nobody should be doing these. I don't care if you're a sports freak or not. They make zero fucking sense. Holy crap, man. Don't. I'm a snap. They're worthy of a block to me for now. And I don't block literally anybody, so.
Yeah, I think I did it twice on Twitter. Twice.
I posted, I'm about to go delete it, man. I don't ever want to see those things again in my life.
Jimmy deleted this tweet.
Bray is unraveled. I read an interesting thing about Bray where he's been kept off the past two shows, even though that he had plans. I don't know how true. I don't know how true that was, but if my theory that one video was supposed to be for Brock and now they're having to kind of rehash and go with something else, that would make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, possibly. For real.
Bingo bango probably didn't happen, but that would be pretty cool if it did. I was spot on, baby. But yeah, that's the show. I think we're done. I wanted to get your shock reaction to that because that was it spiraled me even further into the hatred for it. Oh my goodness, dude. But yeah, that's the show. You got anything left you want to push out, get it done now, and we'll ride out?
No, not really, man. If anybody's watching, like it. Support my guy Jimmy. Jimmy's the man. As you can see that he helped break down a lot of these things that I can't mentally break down and make too much sense of it. I know what I want. Jimmy has a better way of, telling from his heart and putting his mind together and making it make sense. Support the Drip King. Drip King's always been the man.
Appreciate that. And with that, we will be back next week. So goodbye, everybody. Oh, and Raw recap tomorrow. Check in that shit.